Yeah. MD. JPB. It's only right, baby.
Yeah. Why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stubbed, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Girl, run it back.
You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this down, but damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of Wish, and I'm back here with another video. And today I'm doing What If Naruto had Gojo's Powers Part 1, Brat. Meaning, yes, this will be episodal, not a whole movie. I'm gonna do parts. At most, I'll do 7 parts. And I hope you guys enjoy. My voice might be a little low today because I have a bit of a sore throat. But I hope you guys can hear me, right? And let's just begin. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do all that stuff. Hit the notification bell so you can get updated on all my videos. And when we hit sorry about that. And when we hit 9K, I will be doing a Q&A. I'll just be having fun with it. I won't do a live because I can't do it anymore, but I will do an actual video. So I'm going to put a community post up soon, and you guys can ask a bunch of questions that I'll answer, whether they're ridiculous or not, and whether they're about other what-ifers or what I think of them. You know, I'll let you go crazy. Alright, let's begin. So, when Naruto was born, he will still hold the 9 tails, but one thing that would be different from this in this story would be that he has powers from his parents, and that made a special Genkai for him. Not a dojutsu, but a special technique. This technique will give him enhanced strength, agility, and great control over fire jutsu, water jutsu, and earth jutsu. But one thing that is different about his chakra is that even without Kurama, he can make himself stronger when focusing on his emotions, especially negative ones. To the point where the village is even more scared of him, and this changes Naruto, giving him a more of a brutish and rough personality. We find a 5-year-old Naruto sitting in the snow as he has formed a fireball in the palm of his hand, and he's just making it float. The snow is pissing me off. He then extinguishes the fire as he is approached by 3 boys, and one of them says, "I heard you think you're tough." No one thus far, even Hiruzen, knows about Naruto's Genkai, with even himself barely understanding it, so they think he's weak. Naruto then gets up, dusting himself as he walks, and shoves the kids out of the way. "Stop bothering me and go play tag or whatever." One of the bullies then gets mad and grabs Naruto, but as soon as he does, he is punched and sent flying into a tree, and the bullies look back at their friend who is now bleeding from his nose and is knocked out. They then feel this terrifying presence and just nervously turn as they see a smiling Naruto. "I guess you wanted to play with me instead, huh?" He then grabs them both by their heads and smashes them together before then slamming them down to the snow. Weaklings. Naruto then stands up and is a bit surprised as this is the first time he's actually exerted this much strength, and because of his rash personality, he simply went along with it and did whatever he wanted. Weird, it's like I got stronger when I got mad. Interesting. He then smiles in an evil manner just as Hinata stumbles upon the scene, and Naruto turns to see her while he is still smiling like a devil, which scares the shit out of her, making her fall down in the snow. Afraid to say anything, she then cowers in fear when she hears Naruto's voice. "Why don't you have a jacket, huh?" Hinata stops cowering and looks at Naruto with an angry face, but he sounds somewhat nice. "What?" Naruto would ask. "Oh, nothing, I just..." Naruto then pulls her up to her surprise, wiping the snow off of her and saying, "Go home to your family, I'm sure they're worried about you." He then walks past her and heads off home himself, as Hinata then turns to him as he's leaving and thinks, "He's so weird, but he seems nice." Naruto, as he heads home, then starts to think about why everyone hates him, and he can feel kind of why. It's like this deep, dark anger is in the pit of his stomach, and he feels it's related to why people hate him, but honestly speaking, he couldn't care less. He simply wants to find something worth living for. Maybe I could try becoming a ninja. The academy is opening soon, right? He then goes home as we cut to Hiruzen having seen all this from his crystal while at home. "How did I not notice this before?" he would say. Hiruzen had his Anbu keep an eye on him, but they never reported anything special about him until he saw this himself. And not only did he use a fire jutsu, he didn't use any hand sign and demonstrated some way above average strength for his age. I need to watch out for him more. That personality of his will get him in trouble for sure. And he was right, as when 2 years passed, Naruto gets in more fights with some kids who thought they were strong and some adults who simply wanted to beat him up, and he destroyed them all. Naruto even fought some Chunin, and he just roughed them up with this like fire jutsu. He was just destroying them. But because people kind of get the wrong idea about Naruto, they start thinking that he started those fights. But everyone knew he was definitely strong. Like, you don't mess with Naruto. You can hate him, but if you fight him, you know you're gonna lose. And these turns of events kind of change things a bit. And when he joins the academy at 7, Hinata actually approaches him because she wants to break through to his rough shell. And they have this kind of weird relationship where Hinata tries to talk to Naruto, who sort of acts like a tsundere. But Naruto at this point doesn't like Hinata that way yet, even though he kind of denies that he does like her company. Now on the first day, the kids are brought by their parents while Naruto is all alone, and soon when the parents leave, we find Naruto in Iruka's class, as while Hinata is talking to him, everyone is just staying away. Naruto, listen, I made you this. She then takes out and puts a flower crown on his head, which he then quickly takes off. What the hell are you doing? You ruined it. Why would I care about some flowers? Go train or something. Hinata would then say, oh, then you can help me. Naruto then says no, just as the two just keep coming back and forth with everyone just mumbling. Doesn't she realize who she's talking to? Man, he always looks so mad for some reason, but he's actually pretty strong, right? Yeah, right. Everyone looks back to see Kiba, who had said this, and he stands on his desk and says, I bet you lied about all those fights, huh? Sasuke, who was being fought over by Ino and Sakura, then looks back to see what would happen because he's interested, and Hinata yells back at Kiba saying, Naruto doesn't always start fights, leave him alone. Kiba then says, so he still starts some of them, right? Hinata doesn't know what to say, with some people saying Kiba shouldn't be picking on Hinata like that, but he scoffs, going to say something else, when a huge amount of bloodlust hits him and everyone else in the class. What is this? Sasuke would think. I can barely breathe. Only Hinata is not affected by this, as Naruto then looks back at a scared Kiba saying, Oi, shut up, will you? The teacher's coming. Just as Iruka enters, he then turns down this bloodlust, and Iruka says, alright kids, let's get to... What's going on? Are you guys okay? He then sees the entire class is kind of shook about something, and all of them are just like too scared to answer him. He then says, well, whatever is going on, we're gonna start class with a test, okay? So follow me. Everyone then gets out of their seats and follow him outside, where Iruka has everyone stretch a little bit before then giving them standardized tests. Shuriken Jutsu are first, and then they're gonna spar, and first up is actually Sasuke, and some girls are already cheering for him, and as he throws his kunai, he gets 4 of them in, but misses one. Wow, so this is how strong the Uchiha are, the girls will be saying, as Iruka is impressed by Sasuke and tells him good job, and then he calls up Naruto next. Naruto will click his tongue in annoyance, passing by Sasuke as he returns to the crowd of students, thinking, you can act all arrogant now. This isn't a fist fight, this is a battle of skill, so let's see how you do, loser. Naruto, as he steps up, grabs Shuriken, with no one saying anything because they're too scared to kind of like say anything at him, because you know, if they try to disrespect him, he will beat them up. He's been known for that. And this is when he yells die while throwing his kunai with such force and accuracy that he lands all the 5 Shuriken in, cracking the stump he aimed at. Wow! The kids will be saying as Kiba would then think, this guy's actually really strong. Why the hell did he yell die though? Iruka is wide-eyed saying, that's amazing, good job Naruto. Naruto says it's not that hard as he walks back with only Hinata clapping for him, saying that was really good, and soon everyone goes until it's time for the one-on-ones, and the first people up are actually Kiba and Naruto. Iruka would then say, Naruto, don't go too far, okay? Calm down, he'll be fine, if he's strong enough. He and Kiba then step into the circle as Iruka explains the rules before then allowing them to begin. Kiba instantly attacks in an animalistic way and appears with a punch at Naruto, who dodges before then striking him in the stomach. However, what Naruto considers a light punch would send Kiba flying, as everyone is wide-eyed, seeing Kiba knocked out as he would then land back down and hit the ground really hard, and Iruka runs to check on him, and he went really high in the sky. Iruka would then say, he's still alive. Man, what's with that insane strength of his? He didn't even use chakra. Hinata would then say, woo, Naruto, good job, as Naruto would then say, why are you cheering? I thought you hated violence or whatever. Yeah, but he's mean though. After this match, Sasuke gets more serious about Naruto, as does everyone else, and Naruto destroys all his opponents, and even when he went against Sakura, he did not go easy. Everyone thinks he's kind of ruthless, but basically Naruto does not care for gender at all, and when Hinata loses to Sasuke, Naruto surprisingly gives her advice, not criticizing or roasting her. He was just straight up forward and pointed out the things she did wrong, and soon when he and Sasuke were up, people would be thinking like, didn't they say that Naruto could use fire jutsu? What? That can't be true, they would be saying. As Hinata then yells to the kids saying that it is true. He doesn't even use hand signs, you'll see. Of course they don't believe her, as when Iruka begins the fight, Sasuke asks if it's true. Can you already use fire jutsus? Is it really true? Naruto would then say, oh, you're an Uchiha kid, huh? You guys are all about fire. He then creates a big fireball in his hand, shocking everyone, as he didn't even need to use hand signs, and he says, well, how does it feel to know that I can do it this easily? Sasuke is shocked but says he won't lose easily and quickly does hand signs, and to everyone's shock spews out a giant fireball just as Naruto throws his fireball, piercing Sasuke's and almost hitting him, but he dodges just as it strikes and leaves a huge crater behind him and kind of causes an explosion. Sasuke then looks and sees what just happened. He looks back and sees what happened, and he's getting nervous. This guy, he's strong. Naruto then gets in a stance saying, I hope you can last longer than the others. He then disappears and appears right behind Sasuke, grabbing him and suplexing him as he then stood back up, and Sasuke will struggle and stand up, bleeding from his head. Sakura would then say, come on Sasuke, you can beat him, and gets jealous saying, yeah, come on Sasuke. And Sasuke then sees Naruto smiling and telling him to attack, as in a rage he does with rapid kicks, but Naruto swats them away saying, you're too slow, come on man, come on. He then grabs Sasuke by the leg with a smile saying, put more power into it. He then throws Sasuke with insane strength into a wall, getting him just out of the ring as he says, put more power into it when you strike me. Iruka would then say, Naruto, I said not to go too far. Iruka then runs and jumps at Sasuke just as Hinata runs up and chops Naruto on the head, shocking everyone, and even Iruka. Man, she's so bold, they would be saying. And Hinata then said that was too far, and everyone expects him to go crazy and punch her, but he says, fine, I'm sorry, what, you gonna cry or something? What the hell, they would think? She's like an angel. After this, 6 years pass with Naruto gaining the Rookie title of the year. He is known to possess fire jutsu, which matches that of the Uchiha, and everyone knows about how strong he is, and by the time he turns 13, Naruto names his flames Disaster Flames, not being able to spread them as he wishes, and he has a range of over 30 yards, and his taijutsu skills increase by a lot, and because of this attention, it leads to him becoming rivals with Lee. The rivalry only makes Lee stronger and motivates him, and he actually meets Gai Sensei a bit earlier, and this actually makes Neji think he's still stronger than Naruto. He still thinks he's stronger, but he is completely wrong, and he and Naruto have never actually fought. As for Sasuke, his relationship with Naruto becomes less focused on him getting revenge and more of using Naruto as a measuring stick. And Naruto and Hinata are actually really close now, and Naruto has matured a bit, even though he still has the same loud personality, but he is willing to get mad on Hinata's behalf and talk to her, and he's realizing his feelings for her. And Hinata actually becomes more outgoing and becomes way stronger than before, having more passion and actually knowing how to use the 64 pumps technique easily. She can also use windpower techniques with a lot of strength, and actually is known to easily match Hanabi, beat her easily. This gave Hinata more respect and let her tell her father what she wanted, even though he wouldn't listen, because she wanted to free the clan, like the branch. And soon she says that she will surpass Neji, and she can also use any techniques Neji can, and she's just not as skillful as he is yet. So Naruto wakes up like usual. He's 13 now, but he sports a red scarf made by Hinata along with his normal jumpsuit with sleeves cut off, and he has a fishnet garb under, and he wears a bluish blackish kimono, and at the waist it's all held together by a black obi, which is like Sasuke's clothing, like that thing that wraps around him in Shippuden. And then he goes to school, and as he enters, he sees Hinata, who yells for him to come where she is, and he does and sits down near her, as Naruto would then ask, what did you do? You're smiling weird. Hinata then says, what? It's not weird, I'm just excited we're graduating, Of course, that doesn't mean anything to someone who almost became a genin, but still. Naruto would then say, I just didn't want to leave yet. It'd be boring if I did. Hinata smiles at this, as Ino and Sakura then enter and make sure not to run and talk about Sasuke loudly, because Naruto has beaten them up for several times, so they just stay away from Sasuke and sit down normally. So after this, Mitsuki and Iruka walk in with the headbands, and everyone is getting excited as first up is the written test, and then they do the clone test, and Naruto is first up for the clone jutsu. Naruto walks up and does 3 illusionary clones, which he finds annoying because he can use the shadow clone, but he has to do this. It's something that Hiruzen actually let him learn because, well, he wasn't going to become a genin, so he asked for that instead. And after this, he gets a headband and ties it around his waist above his obi, and then Sasuke goes and makes 3 illusionary clones too. And after that, everyone passes because they're pretty competent ninja, and soon everyone quickly leaves, as Hinata leaves saying that she hopes, they get on the same team. And Naruto, meanwhile, heads to the training grounds and starts practicing a new jutsu. He reaches his hand out, with chakra slowly leaving his body as the ground pops up a volcano, which then spews out a hot lava and magma, and the flames reach the skies. As when that happens, some of the lava falls on the ground, setting it on fire, quickly revealing the bare ground, turning it into pure charcoal. Nice. It doesn't take too much to activate, but it is a bit too slow. Hey Naruto! looks behind to see Lee running at him, and he congratulates Naruto for passing. It's not that big of a deal, bushy brows, Naruto would say, as Lee would then say, can't you just call me by my actual name? I feel like it'd be weird if I did, Naruto would answer. And Lee then thinks about it and considers Naruto's nature and says that it is indeed weird, and so he agrees and he's fine with it. And Lee then says, so are you gonna go to the Chunin exam soon? I've been waiting for a rematch. Oh really? Naruto then puts on this evil smile saying they could just fight right here, but Lee says he won't do it anywhere else but the exams. I've gotten stronger too, so don't underestimate me. He then leaves saying he'll see him soon, and Naruto turns back to face the burnt fields and feels kind of empty, and looking at that hardened dark ground, it's like looking at himself, and he feels that maybe this is due to how the village has been treating him and is still treating him. Screw those bastards, I'll show them. He then leaves and night falls as we cut to Mizuki waiting up in a tree when he hears a kid down below say that he is here with the scroll he wanted, and with an evil smile he jumps down and the kid runs and gives him the scroll with him checking it. Good job, kid. Thanks, sensei. Can I get my headband? Mizuki then walks off a bit and then says sure, before then suddenly bringing out a demon shuriken. Sensei, what are you doing? Mizuki then throws a shuriken and the kid cannot react fast enough and simply cowers up in fear, only to then hear something catch the shuriken, and the kid opens his eyes to see Naruto in front of him, and he had caught the giant shuriken while melting it with his flames, until it falls down just completely melted and mangled. Oh Naruto, how nice of you to visit. Now you can die. He then uses the curse mark he gained from Orochimaru, with half of his side transforming and turning black, while he kind of gains the form of a giant claw. Is that supposed to scare me, Naruto would say, as Mizuki then laughs, saying, this is the power that Lord Orochimaru has given me. You should be... Naruto hearing this then gets pissed off, saying, I never liked you anyway. He then dashes and appears right in front of Mizuki, who is then punched in the stomach with so much strength that he slams into a giant tree, breaking it. As he falls down, he then coughs up a bunch of blood and sees a smiling Naruto walking up to him and saying, go pay for your crimes in hell. He then waves at him with Mizuki's head lighting on fire, and then the rest of his entire body is lighted on fire, as Naruto then takes the scroll from him and walks off, and in this moment, the flames just blow him up, and he's just left like a freaking, just like charcoal, and Naruto was like, He then walks over to the kid and tells him to go to his parents, and he runs away scared because Naruto was scary, but he still thanks him for saving him, and Naruto then tells Hiruzen to come out as he ascends them, and when Hiruzen walks out from the shadows, he just dodges a fire blast from Naruto that then dissipates, and Naruto says, you're a shitty old man, you know that. I was gonna step in, I just wanted to see the action. Naruto with an annoyed look then throws the scroll at Hiruzen, who catches it saying, thank you, Naruto. Naruto then says, yeah, whatever, be more careful, man, that guy was weird. He then disappears with Hiruzen saying that temporary visit, something that's definitely gonna get him in trouble, and he definitely got it from Kushina. And when the next day comes, the teams are picked. Naruto is with Sasuke, and fortunately Hinata. And this breaks the hearts of Sakura and Ino, but they can't do anything about it, because those three are the best three in their class. And yeah, soon the senseis then come in and take them until only Team 7 is left, and Naruto would then say, it's been 30 minutes, where the hell is that bastard? Calm down, Sasuke would say, and Naruto would then yell, don't tell me to calm down, this shitty new sensei can't even find a way to an academy everyone knows. He then keeps yelling at Sasuke, then asks Hinata if he's always like this, and she universally says yes, as this is when Kakashi walks in. Ah, there you are. As he says this, he has a foot in his face as he barely dodges a kick from Naruto before then getting locked by his legs. How the hell did he... Kakashi's then pulled down as well Naruto locks him up with his legs, having his legs at his neck. He pulls his arm back, making Kakashi scream as Hinata and Sasuke then have to go get Naruto off of him. After they do, Kakashi, breathing heavily, says, okay, I know I'm a little late, but in my defense, I got lost. Can I kill him now? Naruto would ask, and Sasuke would say, no, he's our sensei. We then cut to the rooftop a few minutes later, and Naruto has calmed down as Sasuke is talking about his goals, and then Naruto is next up with him saying, I despise boring people. I really don't like anything else aside from training and eating ramen. That old geezer makes some pretty good ramen. Stop saying that, Tiochi isn't even that old, Hinata would say, and Naruto then says, anyway, about my goals, that doesn't concern you. They then all side with Kakashi saying, they said you had a bad temper, but I didn't think it was this bad. Naruto would then say, well, you get what you see. I can't be patient for a sensei who acts lazy. At least Iruka looked like he had eyes brimming with purpose. Oh, so you can act calm, Kakashi would say, but I'm nothing like Iruka. Naruto says obviously, and Kakashi says Hinata is next, and with a cheerful attitude, she says she will become the head of her clan and fix his problems, and she also likes training with Naruto and hates how everyone looks down on him. Naruto's super strong, maybe he's a bit abrasive, but he's not a bad person. Kakashi would then say, good to know. He then stands up with Hinata asking if he was going to say anything about himself, and he said that was classified, making them kind of annoyed, as he then said the next day they were supposed to meet at the training grounds and they cannot eat any breakfast. He then boosts away with Naruto creating a fireball before then saying, I almost scorched his head off. Hinata would then say, you can do that later, come on, can you train me again? Naruto then says sure and erases the fireball, but says the training grounds has been ruined by him and doesn't know if it's fixed yet. She then says that's fine and they are about to leave when Hinata asks Sasuke if he wants to go. You guys should go ahead, I'm gonna train on my own. As he leaves, the three then part ways and Hinata gets more training from Naruto, and the next day comes with the group meeting early, and this time Kakashi is there explaining the tests and he's actually early, and as he puts down a timer and 2 bentos, he says, and Naruto says, "You've used this test a lot, haven't you?" Kakashi then nods, sensing Naruto figures something out, as he then gets in a stance, releasing a huge amount of bloodlust that while Sasuke can now battle against, Hinata is fine, as is Naruto. And when Kakashi says to start, Hinata disappears and appears in front of Kakashi with a strike after strike, and Kakashi blocks them but knows Hinata is definitely strong and recognizes that. As he goes to grab and subdue her though, he is then grabbed by Naruto, who twists his wrist, causing the rest of his body to twist and go up into the air, just as Naruto punches him so hard in the stomach that he poofs to nothing, surprising them all. Dang it, Yakugan, Hinata would say, as her eyes activate with Sasuke activating a Sharingan, and while they do this, Sasuke shoots out a kunai, and we cut to Kakashi, who then catches it. So this is where you were. Kakashi is then grabbed by the head and slammed to the ground by Naruto, causing him to cough up blood, but then he turns into a log, which is then melted by the fire from Naruto, and he looks back to see Kakashi throwing a bunch of kunai at him. However, he smiles at Kakashi's surprise, and this is when he feels something weird, and is palm strike and kicked from behind by Sasuke and Hinata. Shit, I was too focused on Naruto, you would think, as Naruto, after dodging Kakashi's kunai, would then throw another kunai, which would miss Kakashi completely, piercing a tree behind him, and Kakashi just lands down as Sasuke is shocked to see Naruto hit the bells and snatched them, and got him on a tree. You got me. Not bad, you three, Kakashi would say, and he then looks at Naruto thinking he's talented for sure, but he has way too much of a temper. Naruto then, to Kakashi's surprise, puts a hand out, and he grabs it, standing up with Naruto saying, "So we passed, right? You bastard. We worked as a team." Kakashi would then say, "So you did figure it out, but why are you calling me a bastard?" "I'm loud, not stupid, and I can call you bastard whenever I want." Hinata and Sasuke then asked what he's talking about, with him saying that the true point of the test was to work together, and he couldn't be more satisfied seeing such teamwork. Kakashi would then say, "But you, Naruto, you need to get better at doing sneak attacks." Naruto then scoffs. He instantly disappears and appears behind Kakashi, to the shock of Sasuke and Kakashi, with him saying, "If I didn't yell, you'd be dead." That speed, it's like Minato sensei, he would think. As Naruto then snaps him out of this gaze, saying that if they were gonna go, well, eat, they should do it now because he's hungry. And Kakashi says sure, and after saying this, they eat and start missions the next day. And this is how Team 7 is born. And in the next few days, the group does small missions, which really isn't Naruto style, but he does them anyway for about a week, but soon he is fed up, as Naruto would then yell, "Give us 3 S-rank missions or I'll kill you, old man." And they were in Hiruzen's office. Hinata would then say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Naruto, calm down." And Hiruzen would then say, "Any other Kage would consider this treason, you know." "Yeah, and I would beat up those Kage. Now can we get a higher rank, or are we gonna have to fight?" Sasuke would then think, he really just does whatever he wants, doesn't he? Even though Kage doesn't scare him. Hiruzen then asks Kakashi if he thinks the team is ready, and he nods as he then calls in Tazuna, and in walks a drunken Tazuna whose breath smells of alcohol. "So these brats are gonna be taking care of me?" Before he can even finish his words completely, he smells something and notices his hair is on fire and quickly puts it out before then getting mad and asking what is going on. "I did it, you bastard. Stop drinking in front of kids." Tazuna then gets scared of this kid because he just did that out of nowhere and he didn't even notice, and he would be asking if they were really going to be escorting him. Hiruzen nods with a smile before then saying he should stop walking in the Kage's office drunk. "Or am I not important to you, Tazuna?" Tazuna then straightens up and puts away the alcohol as Hinata apologizes on behalf of Naruto, but she promises they will protect him at all costs. "Wow, this kid's like an angel," Tazuna would say. "Maybe it's the booze, but I'm saying wings." Hinata then thanks him for the compliment, and Sasuke also promises to protect him, and he says fine, but to keep that kid away from him. "Just don't piss me off and I might." Kakashi would then say, "Hope you don't plan on acting like that the rest of the mission, Naruto." Naruto then says he'll try to control himself, and soon they leave after gathering their stuff, and as they leave, Sasuke would then ask, "Hey Naruto, can I ask you something?" Naruto then says sure, with him asking how Naruto is so strong, and Naruto says, "Because I'm really, really selfish." They all hear this and aren't kind of sure what to make of it, even Hinata, and Naruto says, "Seriously, you're so stupid. I don't expect you to be able to prove this way, but I've noticed that the key to my growth is anger, hate, all that negativity. I take it and exploit it however the hell I want. That's why I'm so strong. It's hard to describe, but that's all I can say. It's pure selfishness." Kakashi would then say, "That's some ideology you have. You think pure emotions relate to your Kekkei then?" Naruto would then say, "Definitely, I've tested it. It helps me regenerate my chakra even faster at this point, and I've divided it into a different category. I named it Cursed Energy." "You're so freaking emo," Tazuna would say, with him laughing, and Naruto tells him to shut up, as this is when they pass by a puddle. As they do, this puddle spews out two ninja and instantly just land, as the other ninja that turn around getting on guard, with Hinata getting in front of Tazuna, while Kakashi stays behind Naruto and Sasuke, who were at the front. And Tazuna gets shocked as when Naruto waves the two, their bodies burst to flame just as they would just throw their weird weapons, and Sasuke kicks them away, asking Tazuna if he's hurt anywhere. Tazuna would then say, "I'm fine." "So that's how you did it." By this point, the ninja are just burnt to a crisp, with their clothes being burnt and they look like charcoal, and Kakashi would say, "Good work. Although you should have kept them alive. My bad, I got lost in the moment, but this is pretty suspicious, don't you think?" He then looks at Tazuna, who averts his eyes, and everyone notices this, but he's not asking if he's hiding something. At first he denies it, but eventually he just admits that he lied about the rank of the true mission, and explains the situation with Gato. "This is perfect," Naruto would say. "That means strong enemies, right? Can we continue?" He then stares at Kakashi while creating a fireball, with him saying, "Clearly you're not asking, but what do you two think?" Sasuke and Hinata then say they're fine with it, and they're not just gonna go home so fast after Naruto makes such a big fuss about it. So they move, and soon they come across a river, and with the help of a fisherman, they just pass over it and are nearing the land of waves. As they walk from shore, re-entering a forest, is when Kakashi actually tells everyone to get down, and as soon as they do, he pulls down Tazuna, but Naruto stays up and catches Zabuza's blade with his bare hands, cracking it. "That actually hurt a little," he would say, as he then drops the sword just as Zabuza lands on a tree branch above in an instant, and Zabuza would say, "You caught it? You must be crazy as hell." Naruto then makes a hand sign saying he is, as Zabuza then hears rumbling and looks to the side when he is hit by hot magma from a mini volcano formed on the tree, but then he appears in front of the group breathing heavily as he barely substituted himself out of the way fast enough, and he's kind of burnt, and the volcano stops spewing lava as everyone looks behind to see the ruined forest, which was just devastated and just destroyed and burnt. "What the hell is this kid?" Tazuna would yell, as Hinata would then say, "Trust me, you get used to it." Kakashi then steps up saying he'll take care of this, but Naruto says it was fine. "I'll kill him for you." Kakashi then sighs saying, Don't kill him, alright? No promises." He then creates a giant fireball from his mouth and shoots it at Zabuza, who has sweat dripping down his face, thinking, "Just what the hell have I gotten myself into?" And that is the end of the first part. Welcome to the end of the video. I know it's short compared to the other parts, but this is as far as I could get so I could make the story good. I hope you guys enjoyed Naruto's shift in character. I made him completely kind of like Jogo, but he's a bit more relaxed. He doesn't just kill like people who are good. He kills people that annoy him and are actually bad. And I'm trying to make this whole philosophy thing relate to how everyone in Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of looking for something to live for, because their world is depressing as fuck. But yeah, if you like that, don't forget to like and subscribe, all of that, notification bell, you know what it is. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.